And we are now live. Welcome back, guys. This is Stephanie Hunter speaking to my beautiful friend Karen Crichton from Pi here in New Zealand. And this is our I'm Back in New Zealand video cast or video group. So excited about this, Karen. So very excited, because one thing that I've learned over the last 4 weeks with the lockdown, because today is the 21st of April, so this is the 4th week of our lockdown from the first round of the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic. I've forgotten the name for a second.
Yeah. Good thing. Yeah.
For the last 4 weeks, Karen, I don't know about you. Well, in fact, I do know about you because we've been sharing them almost on a daily basis. Is deep diving into where to from here, because life is never going to be the same again. So one thing that's really come clear is that our supply chain, we've got to support our local industries. I'm passionate about this, and hence the reason why we're still in the idea from the 1980s Britain of I'm back in Britain. We're now calling it I'm back in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's 1970s actually, Steph. Sorry.
Okay, well, I'm younger than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So this is all about, this video chain is going to be all about products and services in the health industry mainly, maybe. Well, no, I'll take that back, because it's going to be about supporting our New Zealanders, our fellow Kiwis, about bringing their product and their gifts and their talents to the forefront so that we support our locals and bring the supply chain home again. Okay, absolutely. So bearing all that in mind, I'm really excited about this, Karen, because we've got so much talent and so much availability and so much richness right here in New Zealand, haven't we?
Absolutely we have. And, you know, now more than ever, we really need to support businesses, you know, because people, there's been a trend of sourcing worldwide because we've been able to, and there's nothing wrong in that really. But really, New Zealand has some amazing quality products and health and everything else. And I think, you know, they might be slightly more expensive simply because of our infrastructure and everything else, but the quality is always top notch. And that's why people worldwide want New Zealand products. So but it is backing New Zealand, because it's got to be, I believe, is I'm backing New Zealand, and in everything we possibly can. And
I agree.
The more we do that, the more we'll thrive as a nation. And the more we thrive as a nation, the less stress on everyone, and everyone grows and everything grows, and it makes so much sense.
It really, really does. And what I noticed with the supply chain interruption, with the close down of the world, with the lockdown situation, is if I use a hand sanitizer, for example, I make hand sanitizer right here in my own office.
Yeah.
But the product that how do I say this? The bottles that we had breweries able to do hand sanitizers. We had large corporations changing their supply chain to bring in hand sanitizer, but they couldn't supply the bottles because the bottles were coming from overseas. And I asked the question, why? Why? We have got producers of plastic here in New Zealand. We can create our own bottles. Now, the quantities would change, but this is where I want to also help with the education here. We're not looking at the quantity anymore, guys. We've got to look at the quality.
Absolutely.
Quality of the products. And we've got to go back to realizing that we're worth it. We're absolutely worth the quality. And it's not about the dollar value. Seriously, it isn't.
No.
And I find that when we look at when we reduce the quantity that we buy and we go for quality, we therefore reduce the spend because we're not buying so much, and that counteracts the cost. Does that make sense?
That goes across the whole board, doesn't it? It's the food quality we buy. If we can buy organic, fantastic. But if we can search and find out where that food comes from, and like buying locally at markets and everything else, getting to know the people who are supplying you. And if you can't get something that's that local, but actually talking to suppliers, and if they're available to talk to you, then you know that they have passion, that they're really committed to their products.
And this is where we need to go back to, guys. We used to be there not so long ago. I mean, my mother and father, maybe even their mother and father, so we're only talking a couple of decades ago, or maybe 3 decades ago. But when we're buying local produce, we're supporting local people. So local could be in your local community that you could walk to, or you could do a 5-minute drive to. That could be really, really local, or it could be New Zealand wide. I still class New Zealand wide as local supply chain.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember, when you go for quality, so if I just use food, for example, and Karen, you'll back up with this all your nutritional background and with all your chefing background. When you eat quality food, you eat less of it because you get full quicker. Your body's not asking you to eat more food because it doesn't need the nutritional value that's not getting in crap.
Yeah, because generally I'll take the Chinese food explanation. Is very often you eat a Chinese meal and you feel really full. Half an hour later, you're starving hungry, and there's a reason for that. Of course, that a lot of the time they've added MSG, they've added other additives, and it's just lots of sugar and all sorts of other things. And that creates a chain because you need more nutrition to actually supplement that. So it becomes a double.
Satisfy your hunger is to satisfy your body's need for nutrition.
Yes.
That's how I see it. So if you're eating copious amounts of food, but it's low in nutritional value, your body's going to be asking for more food because it still hasn't received hasn't achieved its goal, which is to get the nutritional level. So bulk is not necessarily better. So let's go reverse engineering here, Karen. Let's go back to, it's better to eat one good quality potato. It comes from good soil. That is fresh because it's locally sourced, like it was dug up out of the garden this morning or within the last couple of days, as opposed to imported potatoes that were grown in soil deficient, nutritionally deficient soil, I should say, and it's been sitting on a barge somewhere waiting for 6 weeks to get to us.
Yeah.
Nutritional value, as soon as you take food from its source, from its mother source, the nutritional value immediately starts to decrease because it's losing its life source.
And also, you don't know what's happened between A and B, because there's all sorts of irradiation, all sorts of things that have gone on. As an example, when we were living in the UK, we got these non-organic kiwi fruit, and they were rock hard. So we thought, well, they'll ripen. And 6 weeks later, they still weren't ripe. And this was just when irradiation had started. And it wasn't the grower's fault, it was the way it had been produced. And then literally the next day, it went soggy mush. You couldn't eat it.
Wow.
So that's an extreme example. So it is making, if we can eat locally, it helps not just us, it helps the whole environment. So it helps it helps with, where there's going to be less trucks, there's going to be less shipping, there's going to be less pollution, there's going to be, and we're all going to be happier,
And this goes across the board, guys. So this podcast is called I'm Back in New Zealand, and because Karen and I both come from a nutritional background, and we're both therapists and healers in our health industry. But I'm inviting you, if you are a knitter of merino wool, for example, if you're creating babies' booties out of merino wool that has been grown and developed here in New Zealand, get in contact with us because we want to know about you too. We want to share the building industry. If you're using New Zealand timber and everything or New Zealand made steel, even to build your rafters, whatever, get in contact with us because we want to support New Zealand industry. We want to get New Zealand rock hard, rock solid economy-wise because we're Kiwis. And I don't care what country you were born in. If you're living in New Zealand, you're contributing to our economy. That makes you a Kiwi in my eyes. We're part of the community. So let's get this started, Karen. So we're talking about I'm Back in New Zealand, and we're talking about this beautiful product called fulvic acid.
Yeah, fulvic acid. I've been lucky enough. I've got the bottle today, and it's this one. And there's a website called nzfulvic, and fulvic acid. You were talking about soil earlier, Stephanie. The humble potato. Fulvic acid comes from very, very deep, and basically it's waste matter from trees and plants and things that has been underground for millions of years. And as a nutrient, it is so nutrient dense that it's amazing. It really is amazing. There is another product, and I can't remember what it's called now. It's very well known. It's an Indian product, and I can't remember what it's called. I'll think about it and I'll put it down on the thing. And it's really well known as to be longevity product, and very, very well known for energy. Really, really useful if you do exercise. So it can help with athletic recovery, blood oxygenation, gut health, and also bioavailability, anti-allergenic, immune support, anti-wrinkle, brain function support, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, detoxifier, antibacterial. And the list goes absolutely on and on.
Beautiful. So that was an Indian product you're talking about, or you're saying it's the same as
this
Indian
one?
Product?
It's the same, because fulvic acid only comes from certain parts of the world. India's one of them. New Zealand in the South Island is the other.
How exciting is that?
Yeah, it's really exciting. And so it's really, I would say, this is one of the best products that I've had the fortune to be able to test. And I've played around with it. I've added it to other things and you know, because it tastes quite pleasant. It's sort of a lemony sort of taste. And it comes in a liquid and you take about 5 mils a day. You can do more, but start slowly because it does detoxify as well. So not only is it high in nutrition, it's a detoxification support too. So it supports every area of your body and it just is amazing.
So that's okay for people with digestive issues, obviously, but we
Absolutely.
syndrome, Crohn's disease.
Oh, the Indian one is called Shilajit. Shilajit. And okay. So Shilajit is made from folic acid. So why get Indian when you can get this, really?
I love it. I love it. I love it. So that would be really good for people. What about people recovering from heart problems, critical diseases like your diabetes type 2, heart disease? They'll all be supportive?
Absolutely. What I would also say is if you're not sure, just start slowly. You know, take a couple of mils or whatever. There's a few side effects because it helps with detoxification. So sometimes you can get muscle cramps or a bit of nausea because the body's letting go of toxins. Yeah. But really and truly, it's a good sign because it means your body's getting rid of it.
Love it. I love it.
It's a really good product.
That's fantastic. How exciting is that? And that's right here in New Zealand, down in our South Island. That's amazing.
Yeah, and you can take it once a day in the morning or the afternoon. There's no problem when. And as I say, it's quite pleasant. I take it with other things if I feel so. I add my zinc to it and I add other things at the same time. And it's just a nice, easy way of taking a wonderful, it's a bit like a food really, so it's very absorbable. And we have to look at that when we're taking something is, yes, it looks wonderful on the packet, but can my body process it? And of course it can, because this is real. It's not chemical. It's not a chemically derived thing. So it's real. It's real stuff.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do now, that's a fantastic introduction and interview. And I just, yeah, sorry, my mind's buzzing about all the people I can help with this now. So what I want to invite you to do is, Karen, I'm going to ask you to send me the website for the fulvic acid.
Yes, we'll do.
When we load up the YouTube, this clip, you're going to see the website where to get this from.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, because we've got to support these wonderful people. They've done a lot of research. They've done a lot of work, and you know, they probably send all around the world anyway, I would say. But it's
see, they're the same as us. I mean, the same with anybody. The supply chain's been severely interrupted. We can't afford to lose these gorgeous people. They're amazing human beings. What they're doing for us as fellow human beings. So let's support them, guys.
Yeah,
it's a phenomenal product. I've actually tried the fulvic acid. Karen, you sent me down a bottle to try, and I loved it.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved it, and it buzzed me out. I have to say, I was buzzing.
Yeah, I've had people who do a lot of triathlons and stuff like that, and they've been on it, and they all highly recommend it because it helps with the recovery. And if you're pushing your body that far, you're getting results. Then if you're just like you and I, who are living and doing moderate stuff, it's going to hugely benefit.
Excellent. Okay, guys, that's enough. We're trying to keep these videos under 10 minutes long each. It's going to be a bit hard because some of these products are just incredible. Amazing. We want to give you a bit of a teaser about these products. You can do your own due diligence, and with the website, you can go and do some more study if you wish to. Karen and I always did answer questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll ask Karen anyway. So.
I would always say I think it's really important that we bring this up, Stephanie, is we're here to give you as much information as we possibly can, but we will always, always, always encourage you to go and do your own research.
Absolutely. There's nothing more powerful than your own due diligence, guys. Don't take anyone's word for anything, okay?
Yeah.
This is just some information. It's what we truly believe in, okay? I'm not going to have anybody on this podcast that I don't personally believe in myself. But at the same time, don't take our words for anything. This is your life. This is your body, your responsibility. Go do your own due diligence. But we'll give you a website so you can do exactly that. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks once again.
Bye.
The information is fantastic. We'll catch up with you soon. See you next time. Bye
Bye.
bye.